Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast. We're coming to you live from Cole Creative in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I'm Rich Howells. I'm the founder and editor of NEPA Scene.
And I am Brittany Boot, and I'm the owner of Boot Photography Studio.
And tonight we're here with some members of the new Scranton doom and sludge metal band Dour. Say hello, gentlemen.
What's up, guys?
We're going to be talking about their new demo tape, songs like Satanic Root Beer, which is probably my favorite song title of the year thus far. How this comedian and filmmaker, Bobby Keller, became the vocalist.
That's me.
Playing their debut show at a parking lot of Curry Donuts in Wilkes-Barre, and much, much more. So please stay tuned, and if you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to leave during the conversation at any point, leave them right down there in the comments, and we'll address them in a little bit, or we'll address them to the band themselves. So please feel free if you want any beard grooming tips or anything like that. I'm sure these guys could offer them. Now, first, we're going to drink some beers. One of our sponsors is Beer Boys in Wilkes-Barre. They have 72 beers on tap, 30 from Pennsylvania breweries. And next Wednesday, on August 23rd, they're going to have a Founders Brewing Company tap takeover. Now, they're famous for their breakfast stout, so you may have had that before. But they make many other great beers, so we're going to try a couple different ones this time. Now, on tap at that event, they're going to have Sumatra Mountain, Backwoods Bastard from 2015, Green Zebra, Blizzard of Cause, Fruitwood, and All Day IPA. And on deck, in case those run out, they're going to have Redonkulous, Doom, and DKML, if those run out. There's flints and pints that will be available with free Founders glassware. Also, they're going to have $11 all-day IPA buckets, where you get 5 of the 12-ounce cans, KBS 2017 and 25-ounce cans, and Lizard of Cause in 25-ounce cans. So tonight we're going to start with
the Green Zebra.
That's an interesting one. It says it's a gose-style ale brewed with watermelon and sea salt. It's only a 4.6, so should be.
So you need about 12 of them.
Yeah. But good summer beer. Since,
Great style.
This
yeah,
is
actually,
like
I wanted to look
a
up the
hang by the pool.
pronunciation.
Gose.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gose.
Yes, it is.
This is if you're in for the long haul and you're hanging out outside. If you're dartying,
Right.
is that the term?
Sure.
What's that, day
We
drinking?
That's what the
Yeah,
kids call
Johnny
it.
Pumko, who is not here tonight. Sorry, Johnny. He always makes sure we acknowledge his absence.
Yes.
He came to us and told us that he had recently heard the term dartying, which is day drinking specifically on a patio.
I don't know why it needs its own term separate from everything else, but whatever.
Who wants to try this guy?
I brought
Yeah.
coffee.
There you go, Billy.
Oh, that was
It's a
for
nice
Billy.
mug.
I was passing it along, man. This is cool.
You want to try this one?
Thanks.
Chug it though.
No, I haven't. I'm pretty familiar with the style, though.
Can you drink right out of this crowler?
Yeah, why
You
not?
want to taste it? Go for it.
There's like nothing in there.
It's definitely,
Ooh, I don't
it
know.
has a little bit of sourness to it. It's kind of sweet.
No?
You definitely taste the watermelon.
I never do the sour ones.
It's not
It's
that
not-
sour.
It's not bad.
It's not super sour, though.
Yeah.
Like there are sour beers like we've had on the show that are really sour. This is definitely not that.
It's pretty good.
Yep, hops are light, kind of a dry finish.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I dig that.
Projectile. Turn the camera off.
No, we're
Get
filming
camera
that
in my
one.
face.
A GIF. Or a boomerang video.
That's all most people have the attention span for anyway. Is, about
Yeah.
a 10-second GIF, so it is what it is. All right, so we also want to give a shout out to one of our other sponsors, the Keys in downtown Scranton. This Thursday is their weekly open mic. with $5 gourmet grilled cheese and vegan options. This Friday, if you've ever had their grilled cheese, it's amazing. This Friday is University Drive, Permanence, and Black Hole Heart. And on Saturday, it's an acoustic night with Matt Filer, Berlin, and Years of Madness. The FM Kirby Center is also a sponsor on our site. They have Donnie Marie coming on August 24th. Greta Van Fleet on August 25th, which I think is already sold out.
I saw their video. It's amazing.
Yeah,
They're really good.
They definitely have a lot of buzz going about them. And Il Divo on August 30th. So let's get into Dour and how you guys got started. What are the origins of the band?
Basically, I lived in Philly about a year ago, and I moved back to the area, and our missing guitarist tonight is, he and I were in communique, and when I moved back, I was looking to start a project.
Okay.
And he and I just linked up, and Billy here just came tethered along, and we just kind of got together and just
Now, had you done bands before this?
Yes, I was in like a decent amount of local bands, Dead Radical, Nimbus Terrafix, Riverdale Zombies. Oh man, yeah, those are the ones that did anything, I guess.
Quite a few.
Yeah, but
Now, how did your experiences in those bands kind of play a role in what you're doing with this band?
pretty much doing the opposite. As a drummer, I play usually hyper-violent speeds,
Yeah.
and now just taking the polar opposite. I call it like the fast core retirement plan, pretty much.
Now, why is that? What is it about this music that attracted you?
I think it's more like the primal simplicity, but at the same time, it's songwriting over technicality. And
Right.
instead of going balls to the wall crazy and trying to cram everything into 15 seconds, just learning how to just let it breathe and let it just go. And that's kind of what I was looking forward to doing. And that's what I was trying to do with previous projects, but just butting heads and just never coming to fruition.
Now, is there this type of music? Maybe some people might not be familiar with it, with what doom is or what sludge metal is. They might not understand that. So, is there a way you can explain that to the layman?
I don't even understand it.
Slow. I hate having to explain it to people because it sounds like when you say, oh, it's slow.
It's like
Right.
People are like,
Like
what?
the heavy
Yeah.
stuff.
Why would I want that?
Well, I guess sludge is a term that's indicative of the sound, really. And from where Chris is coming, it's especially as a drummer, it's not easy to play slower than what you've grown up playing and are used to playing.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, we use power chords. I mean, I use power chords on the bass here and there. A lot of blues scales. We just try and, we try and throw in changes where you won't quite expect it, and you'll hear that. You'll definitely notice it. It is a little slower of music of heavy metal, but I mean, we're not like, at a snail's pace. We're not droning. Yeah, there's a couple of bands that drone that a lot of people aren't really into, but we're in the middle ground, I guess. Like slow, fast, kind of.
I was biting them before.
I think my
Thank you.
introduction to this style was with like Down. And those
Down is
types
awesome.
Of bands,
Yeah, yeah.
So, what bands are influential in what you guys do?
High on Fire, Buzz Oven, I Hate God.
You what?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. In a nutshell, yeah. That
Yeah.
would be.
So how'd that curry show go?
That was great.
I
That
wanted
was
to
a
get there so
lot of
bad.
fun.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It sucked that we had to leave
Yeah, we were
so soon
bummed.
because we played 2 shows that day. But we got to see. I got to see one other band, but I wanted to stay for the whole thing. But we're back there for their Halloween show
Cool.
Yeah,
sometime late October.
we're gonna try and commit to staying to that
I thought
for
you
the
guys were
whole
going to try to
thing.
commit suicide.
Sure, yeah, sure.
That too.
But no, we did. We felt kind of bad having to leave. We had another show that night, Excuse me.
So your first night as playing out live, essentially, you had 2 shows right in a row.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was fun, but it was kind of hectic at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, where was the other one?
The Irish Wolf. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, how did that one go?
Excellent.
Amazing.
It was
Yeah,
good.
we were all warmed up. Just
Yeah.
You guys were just ready to rage
We're
at
just
that point.
warm
Probably.
boys. Couple
It was a
warm
lot
boys
louder
in a row.
inside too. A lot louder inside.
Yeah, and I was full of Stromboli after
Yeah.
beforehand too, so that was good.
I
Like
can
pizza
vouch
place.
for that. I saw him eat it.
Irish Wolf is like turning into this amazing little rock club.
It is.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
it's ridiculous the shows that they're getting there.
Mm.
The
My-
fact that Joey Belladonna is going to be there
Yeah,
on
that's
Sunday.
Sunday,
Green jelly
isn't it?
was
Yeah,
Green
it's
jelly.
this,
so
this,
cool.
this Sunday, which you really need to go to. And he's doing covers for I think like 2-3 hours, something like that. I think.
Really?
Yeah, like his sets are ridiculously long, and he plays drums and sings.
That's awesome.
crazy.
How much tickets?
Yeah.
Like 20
Unbelievable.
bucks?
I think like $20.
That's
yeah.
not
That's
bad.
not
for
bad.
that. That's really
Yeah.
not bad.
Graves is playing there with
Yeah, I
a full
just
band
saw
in a
that.
couple
Yeah,
of weeks
thank
too.
God that got moved to Irish Wolf, because when I
Yeah.
heard that it was at Levels, I was like, "Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? That's just asking for trouble."
Yeah,
It's
the different people
punk
that
rock
go there.
douchebag crossover.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, if you hang out at Levels, you're a douchebag.
Fuck yeah.
But
That's-
it seems like they're trying to break into doing regular rock shows and things. There.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
having hardcore shows there.
Yeah, it's maybe like once a month or once every few weeks
Oh,
or
that's really
something
cool.
like that. You know, it's not a lot, but it happens. But yeah, I could definitely see
They did
how
that when
would-
it was Tinks too, because I saw
Right.
Converge, Hatebreed, and Ringworm there years ago.
That was when it was an actual venue,
Yeah.
though.
Hmm.
I don't know
Well,
where they would.
I don't know
Put a
what it's
band up
like.
in
I don't know
Levels
what it's
now.
like inside there now.
They have that whole 4th floor.
Yeah,
but
they're doing
it's,
something
No,
on-
they're loading in and can't.
Isn't
be-
it a
That's
swimming-
what I
it's a
heard. It's
swimming
really
pool
hard to
full
get
of
in and out
Fireball.
of there.
What?
They have a swimming pool
Really?
full of Fireball.
That's
and they
horrible.
That
throw-
sounds
they
really
throw girls
gross.
in it.
That sounds awful.
That sounds fake.
It is fake. If I ran Levels.
So they have the 4th floor, but it's like a nightmare to get anybody up there because there's no elevator.
Right.
Right.
And it's
Imagine an
4 flights
elevator
of
at
stairs.
Levels.
Well-
All these drunk University of Scranton in an elevator.
Falling down the stairs.
Somehow.
It just drops.
It used to be another bar. It was like some beach bar or something.
I was there.
I
That
think
was
they
hilarious.
had tons of sand upstairs. Was it the 4th floor that they had all that sand?
I didn't get
too?
that far.
They had the-
Oh, there was sand when
Before
you
it was a
walked in.
swimming
When you
pool
opened
full
the
of
door,
fireball.
sand blew out.
Did you
of
see
it.
the amazing promotional
horrible.
video that they had a few months back?
Please tell me what it was.
It was like just like zoomed out like pictures of like people clubbing and like breakfast food.
Oh, stay.
No, I
Yeah,
did
they're
not.
doing like a
Yeah,
late
they-
night breakfast buffet or something.
They
was
tried to get
amazing.
people to stay after 2 in the morning and eat waffles. It said hashtag stay.
Don't go, guys. Hang out some more.
Don't go, guys.
Oh man.
There's someone still there. Yo, Chris, you staying?
Oh, yo, you got the
I haven't
waffles. Yo,
stopped staying.
yo, dog, you got those waffles?
yo, why don't you got waffles no more?
Yo, this is beat.
They saw this naggy drunk girl in the street, like screaming, "Stay here and get waffles with me!" And they're like, "That's a genius idea. Why didn't we think of that?"
They did it once. There's probably a
Oh
fight.
god.
A fight over syrup.
My waffle.
My waffle.
No,
One of those
strawberries
guys
are better.
watching
No,
this right now.
syrup's
My
better.
waffle.
Well,
we just grabbed my
we should do it
waffles
one
at
night.
I hope one of those people.
I
are
think they
watching
only
this.
did it once. I don't know
Oh.
if they still do it.
I just want to see what it's like.
It's probably awful.
I
It's
don't
probably the
wanna
worst
know.
thing ever.
I don't
Yeah.
wanna- That's probably the worst thing in the world.
It's
is
probably the worst thing
They
ever.
probably lock you in. Pay to get out.
Free to get in.
Pay to get out of the waffle. There's not one waffle either.
Oh dear.
You have to eat waffles on each level. When you get to the 6th level, you get like a coupon.
You get like your
more
33rd
waffles.
degree of waffle eating regalia.
Yeah, anyway. We give them a lot of attention there.
Levels comments on the podcast. Fuck you! Yo, Dour! Fuck you! We play there next
We can
Bro.
only hope. We can only hope.
I will burn waffles on your stage. No, someone else does that.
Oh.
Your earth mouth is burning waffles now. I said it first on the podcast.
Trendsetter. So now a lot of people with this kind of style of music or any metal in general, as a metalhead growing up, I definitely heard a lot of people being like, oh, it's a bunch of screaming and noise, I don't understand this or whatever. What is your response when you hear something like that, or you hear people describe not just what you do, but metal in general in that way?
Tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't understand it, you don't understand it, I guess. Like, I don't know. I mean, we are screaming, but and it's not melodic mostly, but you know, it is what it is.
It's not the kind of music that you'd really give anybody an explanation.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
any explanation is pandering,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it's either you're with it or you're not.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you have songs with the titles like Satanic Root Beer, Black Cat Amphetamines. Is that an indication that you're not taking yourselves too seriously, or is it that the titles are funny but the music's serious? How do you look at the songs that you're putting out?
I take Satanic Root Beer very seriously.
Yeah.
But no, that song is actually, the title of that song has nothing to do with the lyrics. The lyrics are actually about greedy, entitled cover bands in our area. Not saying that it's about every cover band can fuck off.
Sure.
I mean specific ones that I've dealt with that I have a problem with. So
Right.
I wrote a song about it and I feel much better now. And Black Cat Amphetamine is a song about struggling with drug and alcohol addiction and overcoming that. And I don't know, I just thought Black Cat Amphetamine sounded cool. Like if there was an amphetamine called Black Cat, I would relapse.
I want that black cat.
Well, I wouldn't have to relapse.
Oh yeah.
I know nothing about
And I
that.
think the other song was Upside Down Sinner, which was the first one you guys released.
Yeah, Chad wrote the lyrics to that one. He basically the demo. We have a 4-song demo cassette, and he wrote the lyrics to half of it, and then I came in kind of late, and he already had lyrics for me, but I wrote 2 songs. I wrote Black Cat Amphetamines and Satanic Root Beer. I came up with all the song titles though, because Upside Down Sinner is a Big Trouble in Little China reference.
Which, of course, people are immediately going to think, oh, it's a satanic reference.
Yeah,
of
that's
some
what I
sort,
wanted
that
them to
kind of,
think.
yeah, exactly,
But
which
it's
is
really
great.
just something Wang yells.
Bobby, is this your first time kind of delving into songwriting?
I've done like smaller projects. I've never been in a full-time band, so I would say yes. Because I was in, well, Rich knows about when I was younger, I was in a punk band called Alfhole, and our lyrics consisted of me just yelling the song title over and over again. Like we had a song called Rocco Just Got Out of Prison, and it was just me screaming that. So yeah, this is my first time.
I was a little worried at first because that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, alcohol.
Yeah.
You came a long way, Bobby.
Like, what are we getting ourselves into?
Right.
I thought the same thing. Like, why do they want me to do this? But then it was surprisingly very easy, and I enjoy doing it.
So it was something that they approached you about that.
Yeah. I got a message. I think it was a text message from Chad asking if I wanted to audition, and I had seen a Facebook Live or some video they had posted of them in their practice room playing, and I commented on it joking, saying, "Oh, let me do guest vocals on a song." I wasn't joking about wanting to do that, but it turned into me auditioning and getting into the band. So.
Why did you feel that he was the right fit?
We didn't. We didn't know until until we
I've
recorded the demo.
I've recorded with Chad before.
Chad knew,
He's
yeah,
not-
Chad
He's
knew.
not here, and we've played when I did the comedy versus metal show. We did. It was me, Russell Austin playing bass, Chad was playing guitar, and Jess Mione drummed, and we did like a joke. Not a joke, but we just improvised like a hardcore set and we were called Savini Biscuits. So Chad had an idea of my stage presence and vocals, because I've recorded with Chad years ago. So, but nothing ever too serious. This is the first band that I'm in that we have practice pretty much.
Why is it that this project is different in terms of wanting to take it seriously and wanting to do something that's different from what you've done before?
Well, I see how serious that from the start. As soon as I walked in the room, I knew how serious they were, and I knew that if I were going to even attempt, I would have to give it 110%, and I have been. So
It worked out. Definitely worked out. Yeah.
thank
So far.
God. Yeah, because we even when we were recording in the studio, I went in. My first day in the studio, Chad just handed me the lyrics on his cell phone, and Cliff was recording us. He's like, "Oh my God, he doesn't even know what the words are." it somehow works.
Cliff to life.
Cliff to life.
Now, we had Jess Mione on last week to talk about she was doing a psychedelic fest, and that had a lot of metal and psychedelic rock and things like that on there. We were kind of talking about how that sort of music has started to see a resurgence in the area, or just in general, just coming out of nowhere. It seems like there's a whole series of that. Can you guys talk about the local music scene around here, maybe the other bands that you've seen or that are influential in what you do, or other people you want to work with, things like that?
I want to play a show with Family Animals for sure.
Yeah.
They're so much
really good.
fun.
They're probably my favorite local band.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're so good. I work with the drummer too. Hi, Anthony.
They did a masquerade ball, and they killed it.
Yeah.
Did they? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
Let's
There's a couple
Gonna do
bands,
the-
though.
Show your shirt.
The Founders
Yeah,
all
these
day.
guys were really good.
These are my boys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Blood Eagle.
Blood Eagle, they're awesome.
Killer,
I've,
yeah.
I've seen them before.
Good friends with them.
We just played with a band called Trunk. They're closer to Philadelphia though, but they were incredible.
Their
They played
stage
Irish
show
Bowl.
is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
We won't
They're
tell you
scary.
what they do. You gotta go see it for
Yeah.
yourself. Their stage show was fucking great,
Ooh, this
though.
one smells really good.
Their sound, they're
everything about
fucking
them.
tight as shit, man. You know,
Well, it's Vow.
Vow,
That was cool.
dude
yeah.
plays a 2-string bass, and it's just him and a drummer, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, like early Man is the Best or like Power Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like
Okay.
that.
And he uses a distortion pedal, and he already has it a little distorted, so it's kind of like a chorus pedal, and he'll switch between that and a heavier distortion, so you can really tell whether they're in the verse or a chorus or a bridge or whatever. And it just that little bit of a difference adds so much depth to Vow's music. To where a lot of bands aren't really even doing that. A lot of bands don't even really have that kind of depth, and these guys are achieving that with 2 people in the band, which I think is so amazing. That's just great.
That's, I think, something that people don't give local bands enough credit for. The fact that they are innovating, that they
Yeah.
are doing things that are outside the box and stuff like that, that I don't think people expect to come from around here.
Right.
And I think in general, people think that, they hear something like Breaking Ben or something like that. So they expect bands like that to come out of Northeast PA.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't
And
understand
we still
that
have a
there's
lot of
so many
stuff like
other
that, too.
genres and things like that. Oh yeah, there's definitely bands that are in that, especially when they first came out. There was a lot of bands that wanted to kind of emulate that same sound
Oh, yeah.
and do that same kind of thing. And I mean, you
That's
saw.
what we're going for, Breaking Ben.
I figured. I could tell.
That sound is so like
It's so dated.
If you
it's so
play,
exactly overproduced and dated. It doesn't
If
sound
you
original.
play
at all.
a Breaking Ben, that's the name, right? Breaking Ben.
It's like
if-
the Woodlands
If
of
you play
rock
the
bands.
record backwards, you get directions to the woodlands.
Wait, did we just come up with the same joke?
No, I've just told this to you before.
Oh.
I've been telling that joke for 10 years.
Listen, I was at the Woodlands the other day, and
I
I
heard
was
you
like,
say woodlands. I'm like, I better wrap this up.
I was like, this is. I feel like I'm in like 2000, but like it's worse than I remember. And
They haven't remodeled
I was like,
since
someone needs.
2000 probably.
So I was like, someone needs to tell them that whatever they're doing is not working.
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
at
people
all.
still go there though. There's still always
we
people
went
there.
I was
there. We
with
went
Kane
there like,
Hodder. That was really cool.
let's go to the Woodlands.
I was at the woodlands with Kane Hodder, and he's like, yo, do you know where the karaoke night is? And I went to karaoke night with Jason Voorhees. He ditched me, though. It was at one of the
He didn't
horror
kill you?
conventions. He choked me in the bathroom.
Did you pay $20 for that?
I love this one.
This is the All Day IPA, which has a complex array of malts, grains, and hops that are balanced for optimal aromatics and a clean finish. So, in other words, it's pretty smooth. That's essentially what it is.
Come on, Bobby.
It's only a 4.7. So this
That's
one
actually
is also
my girlfriend's favorite beer.
He sounds like
it's
he's
really, really
describing,
good.
Like cereal a pussy would eat. Read that again and imagine a pussy eating cereal.
You know, it's a pussy. Or
No.
It's like you or like JK.
Where do you think he's getting these jokes from? He's making fun of himself this whole time.
I gotta try like
My
an
whole
actual sip
life.
of this.
Go for it.
Damn it, I ran out of Java.
That's a beer.
That's coffee in that
Make
can?
some cereal.
It's like a monster can.
That was non-alcoholic champagne.
So what do you guys have coming up?
Shit, what do we have coming up?
Family dinner.
Supper. We have supper next.
We're all
Yeah, we did that the other day.
Yeah.
We all had
No, what
supper.
do we
we
have
had to
next?
take a
I
really
guess.
Any like what's in the works?
Right now, just continue
we're-
writing.
Yeah, we're working on a new song.
Yeah, try not to like stop with.
Keep the
you know,
flow going.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
so if anyone's booking any shows that we would fit on,
come see us.
Yeah.
And some that we won't. That we'll make it real.
We do have a show coming up, though.
not till the end of September.
Yeah, yeah.
It so happens to be my birthday.
That Halloween show.
The Halloween
yeah,
show,
we're-
Curry, yeah, Curry
Definitely.
Donuts is.
That's like a
They're
good
always,
time.
and it's free too. It's
That'll be
yeah,
super
free.
fun.
it's just
Show
you'll
up.
save money. You'll have money for donuts when you go there.
We should do a whole Ink and Dagger set.
What's Ink and Dagger?
A band.
I thought it was like a bookstore. Sounds like a bookstore.
We're gonna play
Vampire
we're
bookstore.
playing at a
Yeah.
Dagger bookstore. Fine, we'll be us. Just be us.
It's, we'll read some comments. I can't see some of the earlier ones, but I can see Jess Mione, we were just talking about, said, "How did you not call this the Dour Hour?"
Oh, we fucked up, man. Damn.
Alright, start over.
Yeah.
Everyone pretend this is the beginning.
Get more beers.
The Dour half hour.
She also asked if you will play Hollowfest.
Yes.
So, okay.
All
so
right, there's
that's
another
coming
show.
up.
Here we go.
There's another
Is
one.
it vacation?
Patrick, who
Ask her
we've
what
had
it
on
is.
the show, says you can't go wrong with All Day IPA. I agree with that.
I'm liking
It's
it.
honestly
Definitely not a bad
really,
one.
really good.
And
Now he thinks he's gonna get a coupon.
our co-host who ditched us tonight because I don't think he wanted to put up with these guys said nice couch because this
Oh yeah,
couch
we
is
upgraded.
yeah we got an upgraded
It's all
couch
over
over
it.
here. We actually got that because he's not here. When Johnny returns, we're gonna go right back.
Downgrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
I'm gonna pass out on a
I'm
drunk.
pissing
That's
right
what I'm
now.
gonna do. Just don't piss on it while I'm
Hey,
passed out
Johnny.
drunk, alright?
Here's a question for you. Nick DeMarco, who writes our retro game column, asks what your favorite retro video games are.
River City Ransom.
Metal Gear
That-
Solid. Metal Gear. Is that even retro though?
Night
That's
Stalker.
I think it is now.
it's like 20 years
Yeah,
old
exactly,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Shit.
So yeah, you could
That's one of my
consider that
favorite games
retro.
ever.
What's your favorite
Yeah,
game?
what about you, Billy?
007 Goldeneye for the
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
N64.
Yeah.
Does Kingdom Hearts count?
Sure. That's
That's
not
not
Super
yet.
Nintendo, right?
Yeah, that's PlayStation. Does that count?
Yeah, well, if Metal Gear counts.
That
it'll-
and Skate 3. But
Skate
that's not
3.
really old school
That's not
either.
vintage.
That's like pretty new, I guess.
I like the older games, but I still play newer games, but the older games are more fun. Like Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, all that shit. All
Resident
the,
Evil 4 is probably my favorite game.
that one was alright. People talk shit on that one, but that was
love
actually
Resident
alright.
Evil 4.
I like the original Resident Evils though. They're so fun.
Yeah, the first one.
The voice acting is.
I don't know, you,
Which
can
is-
listen, you can listen to every sound effect on YouTube, and I've done it.
You know what it is. Oh, the sound the PlayStation used to make when you turned it on.
Yeah.
Did yours say "help" too? 'Cause mine always
Only
yelled help.
after I was done with it.
Sorry.
Let's see. Chris Bombach says, I walked away for a couple minutes and come back to hear an extended conversation on waffles.
Chris Bamback,
That did go
fuck
on for
you.
quite a while.
Chris, what do you know about fucking waffles, dude? Come on.
Yeah,
You just missed it all.
contribute, please. Tell us your favorite waffle topping.
fuck.
Yeah, actually, I know that kid. He's a total pussy. I fucking hate him. We call him Red Dragon because he's red bitch.
Wow, you need a new nickname. Our new friends.
He needs a new nickname, not
I'm
us.
talking to him. He's right there.
Let's see. Ray Mione asks
Oh, shut the fuck up, Ray.
if you were going to do a cover, what would it be?
I want to do 10,000 Years by, not fucking Tool, by High on Fire.
I want to do Old Mother Reagan by the Violent Femmes.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
In for the Kill from Budgie.
Budgie is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know,
on the
like,
spot.
Something nuts, like something like Judas Priest or something like
Cool.
Screaming for Vengeance or something.
You need a new
Cool.
vocalist. I can't do that.
Not with that attitude.
You just don't want to. You just don't want to dress up like a biker and shave your head. That's what it
I
is.
am already a biker that shaves his head.
With a boner and
Boner biker with a shaved head
Oh, God.
and a bush pounder.
that he's not drinking.
Yeah, that he
My boner
stares
is
at.
drinking it.
Patrick said that Johnny skips that he could stay home, listen to Duran Duran, and have a shower beer.
Keep your inside jokes to yourself.
Guilty. That's my inside joke to myself.
Ain't nothing wrong
Oh.
with shower beer.
Kristen Kelly says, can you write a song about the merchant from Resident Evil 4?
Aw, welcome. What are you buying? What are you selling?
There it is.
That's
there
it.
You have it.
Done. I'll send you the recording later. You guys can release that.
Just repeat that
Yeah.
Next be a
Reverb.
10-second
over and
Yeah.
over and over.
blast beat grind song.
Come back anytime, stranger.
Better bass one off of Altered Beast. Rise, February Gray.
What did Linda Blair ask? Nothing?
No, nothing yet.
I told Linda Blair to listen.
She's lazy. She's been in bed all day.
Masturbating with a
get it.
cross.
Yeah. So now, with you having done, comedy and filmmaking and things like that, has that had any influence on how you approach this as a singer? Because are you looking at this a little bit differently than maybe somebody else who's maybe strictly into music or wants to do this?
I would
Yeah,
just hope
yeah.
that people don't see it as like a joke or me doing comedy, because I'm
Right.
approaching it the complete opposite of how I would approach stand-up comedy, because I don't know. I forget where I was going with that.
Well, for one, no frog suit.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like when people already have like an idea of like what you do or what you're into and how you do it, they just assume you apply that to like every aspect of your
Yeah.
life, you know?
Right.
If anything,
one-dimensional.
Yeah, people are much more dynamic.
That's what I kind of thought when they were like saying he was gonna like try
Right.
singing for us. I was like,
Please don't
the
make
guy
a
who
joke
wore
out
the
of this.
frog suit, like,
No, I can
like
pick
all
it
those
up.
like riffs that I was working on. You're gonna put the frog suit guy. In
Well, I mean, Chad does wear a Ronald McDonald suit, so
oh yeah, that's
Do
why
you
he's
guys
not
dress
here.
up at all for shows?
no.
No, we don't have gig shorts.
No, I wear my mosh shorts.
Oh wait, I did wear a really weird clown shirt that I found. It's like a baseball tee, and it just says Roach 1975, and there's a picture. It's like a painting of clowns and giraffes, and it's from JCPenney in the 1970s, and it's skin tight, so it's very uncomfortable. But I trying to wear that, and I bought a pair of shorts that say Doritos on them. That's
Oh, you told me about those.
They're so cool. I don't even know if
Doritos.
they fit me though. I didn't try them on yet. I'm gonna try them on stage. Like this.
Wear them on your shoulders.
Drop trouser.
No, we're all gonna wear suits.
So
You like a ska
David
band.
Byrne, like
Real big
oversized,
ones.
like Stop Making Sense ones.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Johnny wants to see my jorts. You can
Show your
see
milky
'em.
white legs.
Yeah.
Rich
Egg
Howard.
white.
Can't see 'em from there.
Egg white legs.
Yo, egg
Creamy knees.
Should we tell a story about how we almost got beat up at the wrestling match by Murdoch?
Oh, because we were starting
Yes.
wrestling.
Because we started chants
Yes.
after him.
And he was you tell the story.
We just were being assholes at a wrestling match, pretty much.
And we started an egg white ass chant because
Yeah.
the guy was like really.
This guy was like a
milk.
kind
He
of
looked
like
an egg.
he was like a pudgy ginger kind of that was like going bald, and he had like a skin tight outfit on, and he was like screaming at us. I have a picture of him like.
Sounds like that Bamback kid.
Oh, yeah, that was the night we went to see Bret Hart. It was Bret Hart, Rob Van Dam, and Sabu. I was wondering why we were there.
Yeah, it was like
It was
just
really
it was just
awesome.
like the four of us just going egg white ass, egg white ass.
Wasn't Simo with us?
Yeah, it was so funny. That was the same
Dreaming
night
of
we
getting
were we was that the same night we came up with calling people rich?
Rich and cops.
Yeah.
What are you, rich?
Okay, so I'll tell how that originated. Me and Bobby are walking out of like the back alley coming from Ale House going to the bog, and we see Tom Graham like keyless entry his car like boop, boop. And Bobby goes rich. And I don't know why it was so funny, but we couldn't stop like saying that. Like if someone ordered like a shot and a beer,
What are you, rich?
I'd be like, "Whoa, rich!"
And then
we
I think
literally
it was the
couldn't
same
stop.
night we started calling people cops.
Yeah,
What are you,
like-
a cop. But
Someone say, "Hey, what's up? What are you, a cop?" Like no one could socialize with us because we were being so dumb
we
and
were just standing
idiotic.
in the corner of the bar
At the jukebox.
being the biggest ass.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun though.
I think my hair was down to my shoulders too. Ew.
Rich.
I like you so much better now, Bobby.
Give me one of those beers. You won't make it much longer.
I don't know.
you gotta chug it, man.
Yeah, right. You'd be carrying me home.
It's funny when you don't drink as much and you get
Carrying me to
like
Redondo.
shit faced off like one
I
beer.
want more.
Oh, I promised myself never to quit drinking again, because then when I go back to it,
It's
I
like,
get fucking
yeah.
wasted after 2 beers and 3 shots.
I ain't quitting. No.
That's what,
Blackout drunk last time that happened.
I'm keeping it at like a nice even balance, like just getting drunk like twice a month now. And now like I don't lose my tolerance, and I also don't like drink until 6 a.m.
Yeah.
like,
That's very responsible.
Yeah, I can't do
fucking
that
screaming
anymore.
Gigi
Oh my
Allen
God.
like on a bar stool, like getting like arrested. So like I'm just trying to like keep it in moderation.
Yeah.
Gigi would not approve.
He might. He probably won't though. He'd be like,
Let's
fuck
ask
her.
him. What did Gigi Allen say on Facebook? I'm coming back. I'm coming back, you son of a bitch. Doesn't sound anything like that. Hey, Chad's gonna ask us how the podcast went. Oh, we made fun of Gigi Allen. I quit. That's I quit.
What?
We made fun of your lord.
So, speaking of stories, you should probably tell them the Sweet 16 Alfol story.
Oh my god, the first show Alfol ever played. And Alfol was just basically a picture like punk and grindcore. 4 kids that have never even played before. We just had a general idea that we were gonna piss people off. And we all went to West Scranton High School. I was talking to a girl that went to Scranton High on AOL Messenger. I think it was before that. I think it was just AOL IMs. And somehow convinced her that we were a real band, and we showed up to this garage with Sweet 16 balloons and girls eating pretzels.
Isn't
And
there
we
a
just-
videotape
Was it
of
me?
that?
I have it. I have
Oh,
it
we
on
gotta
tape.
watch
Yeah.
that, dude.
Rich was the guitar player.
Oh, fuck.
It was me, Rich, Joel Stevenson played bass, and nobody knew how to play any of the instruments.
Nope.
We found a kid who had drums, or they may have been his brother's drums, and we showed up, and within the first 10 seconds of the first song we played, I ran over to a table of these like 14, 15-year-old girls and just started punching the bowl of pretzels that they were eating out of. There's pretzels flying everywhere. The song ends, and then the girl's mom comes up to me with a broom, and it's just like, sweep it up! And then I pretended to sweep them up, and then we still played 2 more songs, and then I was like laying on the floor screaming bright red, and she told us to leave. So that was awesome.
So who's the girl?
I have no idea. Some girl that was she may have gone. I think she went to school with the drummer. That actually makes more sense. But I know that like I booked.
I certainly
booked
didn't
the show. Oh, the good old days. I think I was 15. Now I'm 150.
Now, you guys haven't had any gigs like that, I assume.
Not yet, I hope so.
Yeah.
No
I'm
birthday
looking
parties.
forward. No, the current, like, it sounds ridiculous to say our first show was in the parking lot of a donut shop, but it was
Those shows are always
organized
the
and it was great. There was kids skateboarding, and just, I don't know.
There was a bridge to drink 40s under.
Hmm?
They said there was a bridge to drink 40s under.
Ah,
South Street
I didn't get
Bridge.
that memo. Rich. I got a donut.
Yeah, it's a little hidden gem of an area there where some bands play there pretty much throughout the summer and then into the fall every year. We've done a bunch of features on it, and we've talked about it on the show a bunch of times. But it's cool to be there. So please check it out because it's something that you have to kind of experience. You know, it sounds weird. Like, why would I go to a Curry Donuts parking lot?
Great though. That's
It
why
is
it's-
cool.
It's
fun.
really cool. Maybe since you guys have only done a couple of shows so far, maybe other bands that you've been in, do you have any sort of interesting stories, good, bad, or otherwise, in terms of how gigs went?
Oh, jeez. I was in a band called Mr. Mike. Fucking Jesus Christ, probably around the same time that went on. And we practiced and stuff here and there, and we were trying to, make something of it.
Yeah.
And I think this is the last show that Mr. Mike ever played at Session Skate Park.
I loved it.
Something happened where our sound was all messed up, and then one of us got pissed off and walked off stage. I dropped a $700 bass on the stage and walked off, and we didn't talk to each other for months after that. That was probably the worst story I can tell about a band that I've been in.
So you just guys got pissed off and left?
I don't even remember what it was about, other than the sound. Someone's guitar was off or something like that.
I remember my old band Dead Radical playing in Hickory, North Carolina. At this biker bar called the Wizard Saloon. I was 19 at the time.
That
Sounds
sounds
awesome.
It sounds great already.
Yeah, so I was underage, so they had to put big X's on my hands. Like I was listening to Gorilla Biscuits all day.
Bobby?
I was listening to Gorilla Biscuits.
I probably would. What is it? The one band we played with was called Static, and the guy built his own guitar out of 2x4s for the body. And there was the bridge was here and maybe that much of the tail. And at the end of their set, he pulls out a circular saw on stage and only cuts a sliver like this off of it. Thing is the most badass thing for 5 fucking people, I swear to God. And I think we got paid $35, some dirt weed, and Slim Jim beef jerky. And I was so traumatized that I drove 11 hours through the night just to get to Philly. And then going to the old relapse store looking like I was probably on God knows what kind of drugs, with the big X's still on my hands, trying to sell our 7 inches so we can get gas money to come back home.
Oh, man.
And overdrawing my bank account. That was one of the ones I could think of.
That sounds awful.
Then there's Chattanooga and, big old house party, and you hear one guy screaming, "Don't piss next to my face." I'm pissing next to your face. 2 friends, about to get into, a brawl. They're, me and Bobby away, and one guy's pissing in a bush, and next thing you know, we're hauling gear out, and these guys are about to fight each other, and then, because the one guy's pissing next to his face.
It's the South.
Yeah.
Play there too.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. Next time, it was an awesome show, but the next time we came back, nobody showed up because fucking Morrissey was playing in town. And we totally got screwed by Morrissey. And I had to save my guitars from a really creepy man with missing teeth playing the frogs.
Morrissey with missing
teeth. And looking like he was going to make unwanted sexual advances on my guitars.
We're still talking about Morrissey, right?
It was more the frogs in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Morrissey riding a frog with no teeth.
Are you sure it wasn't just Bobby and a frog?
It could have been.
No.
Singing Morrissey.
Singing the frogs.
Yeah.
I've done drugs that blow your mind tonight.
What else can we talk about?
I don't know. What you guys want to talk about?
I don't know.
Do you guys have any stories?
Billy does.
Oh man, about what? Anything?
Any nightmare gig stories?
old
Yours were
band
really good.
stories?
Tell us about the last nightmare.
My
you
Taurus.
had.
Your gig stories.
Toy
Gig,
stories.
tell
are the
a
best.
gig story. Talk about when Chad went nuts.
There was no really good Cell 13 state like band stories. Nothing really exciting ever
No
happened.
craziness.
Nah.
We want the juice, Billy.
Spill the juice.
They're well behaved.
Christians.
Well-behaved
Rich.
Christian.
Rich Christians with guitars.
Well behaved. Pretty good.
Boy Scout with a
We're
beard.
all right. Nothing exciting at all.
Metalhead Boy Scouts.
How about you,
I'm
Bobby?
sorry. I told my tale.
No more.
Band stories, nothing good.
It's a good one.
Shall we? We'll talk about the last one then. Did you guys try this yet?
Yeah, it did.
That is
good.
the.
Yeah, it's like it.
This is
Nope.
Sumatra Mountain.
That's right, Sumatra
Is
Mountain.
it a porter?
It is a bold imperial brown ale.
Oh.
So
Wow.
similar,
Wow.
but different.
What's that, like 8%, 8 or 9%?
It's 9%.
Oh, that's
Oh,
an
man.
eighter. Oh, a niner. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those beers
that's
taste
a
like
nice-
sausage.
You gotta take that. You gotta slow down, Billy. Are you driving?
Right.
Oh. Don't pull him over.
It
Don't
says-
mind
Any
the
cops watching.
It says a caramel malt sweetness.
Just waiting outside the
Just
parking
cops.
garage I parked.
Just cops. Only cops watching.
JustCops.com.
I heard that kid say he.
You know, imagine a cop flavored beer.
Automatic
like
diabetes. Just automatic diabetes. You're gonna lose that foot.
Tastes like bacon.
Oh dear.
So what are the goals for the band then? What do you want to do with this? Is this something that you want to tour around with, or is this something that you just
Yeah.
want to stick around here? Or?
Definitely want to tour around.
Yeah.
You know, shopping around. Hopefully, get somebody to do pressing. I know it's a little tougher than it was, like say back in like the early to mid 2000s for consignment deals with like smaller labels.
Sure.
With like just money and how much it costs to put out a record these days, and also the annoying turnaround for getting a pressing to come back on time.
Right.
But right now, just doing the writing, trying to get some play shows and just stay tight with it. But yeah, definitely want to start touring at some point.
Now, what do you got the demo out now? Are you gonna try and get something recorded at a studio, or are you just gonna kind of stick to the DIY type of recording?
Well, this actually, we recorded this on ADAT at Rec Room Studios.
Okay.
And calling it a demo, it's more of an EP, but
Right.
But we
We're
paid
just-
for it.
yeah, self-released. We're dubbing. Oh, Bobby's dubbing cassettes.
Oh, God.
We're trying to find like a Hello Kitty boombox.
Yeah, I've been
so you can
dubbing
put
cassette
it up.
copies on this boombox. I got the first 30 done for the release show. And the fucking thing just blew up. Like, okay, all right, we only have 30 tapes
That's
instead of
that.
100.
Limited edition.
Yeah, that's.
We're gonna have to shop that out maybe and outsource it if worst comes to worst. But
We'll put it on CD. Sellouts.
We'd like to do a split 7-inch. We won't talk about who we're going to do it with because we're nothing certain, but
Right.
we would definitely like to put out a 7-inch. That's probably, I'd say, our next goal.
I
7
got
inch
7
tour.
inches for you, buddy.
That's it?
That's all. Sorry, man.
I'm used to the 10-inch, man.
Specialty cut costs more.
What's
Sorry,
the
Ken.
speed on that?
You want to do speed?
Sure.
Joe Cavison just said that he just checked you guys out on Facebook and he digs it.
Cool, thank you.
Cool.
We dig
Thanks,
you
Joe.
digging it.
We dig you, digging,
Yeah.
digging.
So you guys should play the Electric City Music Conference. That's actually about a month away now.
Yeah.
Sign us
we're
up.
thinking about it. Yeah, we'll get on if someone wants us to.
Yeah, if we're allowed.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Well, he's the guy who does it, so if he
Oh.
likes it,
Oh,
Put us on the show.
Yeah,
Free
take us on
spot
something. We'll
at 5
definitely-
o'clock to be announced. Give it to us.
Yeah.
We've been creeping.
now you're gonna end up at Levels.
Good. Warn them.
That's
don't warn
perfect.
me.
Yeah.
You can bring your own waffles.
That's
I
what
know.
waffles.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
just
drunk.
like whip waffles, like out to like the
That's-
crowd.
That was
Drum
the
riser
surprise.
made out of waffles. Just
Stay. I will
putting
write an
syrup
entire
on my
song
hands
called
to keep
Stay,
sticks from falling
just for
out.
them.
Jim Atkinson says Corey loves a good 10-inch.
Full throttle, baby.
You wouldn't know, Jim.
You wouldn't, James.
Jimmy.
Waffles again.
Great, we're that waffle metal band.
Waffle.
It's gonna follow you.
Waffle.
This is gonna follow you forever.
Oh, we've said worse. Don't worry.
I just did.
Yeah, we're changing our sound. We're gonna turn into a Christian waffle ska band.
We're a
yeah.
Christian waffle ska band.
Yeah.
Not ska.
You put Hardee's.
Pick it up.
Pick it up, Billy.
Pick it up.
I hate ska music.
Billy hates ska.
As,
Pick it up, pick it up.
as Dwayne Peters
Billy
called
says
them,
it with the
marching
W.
band rejects.
Milky white legs.
Oh.
Hey, milky white legs. I hate myself.
I hate you too. It's
God damn it, I knew it!
dag nabbit.
Dag nasty.
You were his favorite bandmate.
I'm just doing it for the views.
All right, so shall we get to the last word then?
Sure.
We're wrapping up then. Obviously, last week we talked about the multicultural parade, and so it's strange that nationally you ended up having the issues in Virginia that you had, where you had the exact opposite. We were talking about all the positivity of showing cultures and diversity in the area, and then in Virginia they do the opposite with a white power march that turned violent. Someone ended up getting killed. It was a bad thing the whole way around, and an even worse response to it by the president, if I can
Oh
say.
my God. He
But-
blamed it on the left.
It's-
Fucking believe that?
Well, you'd think the easiest softball you can get as any politician at all is just to say, I hate Nazis.
Mhm.
Just come out and just say,
Yep,
I
yep.
hate white supremacists, I hate Nazis. And you think that was just an easy one, but no,
Not
you
for me.
couldn't have that. And so it makes me think of, it was interesting a couple of years ago, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which talks about a lot of hate groups and keeps track of them and things like that. They put out a report every year, and last year we had published the results of the report because Northeast PA actually has some of the highest amount of hate groups in the country, even compared to the South. And we got a lot of comments from people saying, well, I don't believe this. This isn't true. It's all bullshit.
Read the comment section of
You
any
know,
article.
that kind of
on-
thing. Like that's, oh, you're just giving these people publicity and all this other kind of shit and whatever. But it just makes me wonder if something like that could happen here, with especially now that you have things like the multicultural parade kind of raising awareness about all the cultures and different kinds of people here. Are you going to see blowback? Are you going to see a white supremacist group march through Wilkes-Barre or Scranton at
I
some
still
point,
feel like the odds are with us when it comes down to it, even in the area, even if it's like heavily saturated with groups like that. I believe that there's more people on the other side than with,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah, we'll fuck them up.
Yeah, like they have no chance here.
And that that's a funny thing too, is you have these people who are like, oh, you can't punch Nazis.
Yeah,
I'm like,
fuck
that
those
Says
people
who?
too.
Yes, you can.
absolutely can.
And I hope that phrase doesn't just turn into like a stupid meme.
Right.
Where people hiding behind computers are just gonna like twirling your mustache. Punch a Nazi. No, fucking go out and punch a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
Don't go look for one, but if you have the opportunity, fucking knock a Nazi out.
Well, having grown up on a healthy diet of Captain America comic books and Indiana Jones, like I can't think of a better, more American thing you could possibly do
Yeah.
than punch a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
But yet, you have people who are like, oh, we need to defend their right to say this or that, or you have people who are saying, oh, well, it's Black Lives Matter. They had protests
Their
that went
defense
violent and
is that
stuff
Black
like
Lives
that.
Matter is a hate group, and
Right.
that,
Bullshit.
which
Right.
two things are not like the other. I don't believe that they're similar.
Well, here's the thing: is any group that you have, it doesn't matter what it is, if you're Democrat, Republican, Christian, atheist, whatever, you're going to have assholes in any group who are going to do stupid shit.
Right.
So you have a movement that has a point, and the purpose behind it is to say that we're all equal and that we all need to be on the same plane. And then you have a purpose of these white hate groups where the purpose is we need genocide. We
Right.
need to wipe out anyone who is not white. How do not people see the difference?
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Yeah, okay, you're going to have people who are going to fuck that up. You're going to have people who are going to go out and riot or something like that. There's always that. But the majority of them did not do that. And the same. But on this side, you have all these white supremacists, and the goal of every one of them is we need to wipe these people out, because there's no peaceful, like there's the way that they talk about it on the news and stuff when they're being interviewed. So, well, we're just trying to get our opinion out there and our views out there. But your opinion is to wipe people out. Like that's not an opinion. You know, an opinion is like
a swastika flag around.
They were
You're not-
chanting the Jews
Right.
will not replace
You don't
us
have any. You
or
should be
something.
taken down right then and there.
and to
a
me,
swastika, really?
as soon as I see a swastika, to me that's inciting violence.
Right.
That's
Well,
that's
they
what
know.
you're
They know what
saying.
they're
Yeah.
doing.
What
Because
the
by
symbol
waving
is.
that
Nothing
flag,
peaceful about that.
there's nothing about that flag that says we're going to do this peacefully.
Yeah.
Right? Like at what point, so let's say if they got their perfect world. So we all say, yeah, you know what, that's a great idea. So what are we going to do? Are we going to carefully march anyone out who's not white? Are we going to do DNA tests on everybody to make sure you're not even you have to be 100% white or Anglo-Saxon. Otherwise, if you have a little bit of this or that in you, which I'd love to see some of these white supremacists take a DNA test.
They won't. They won't. They won't, because a lot of them are not totally white.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
One story I can think of that I'm not going to share, but
Oh, come on. You can't do that.
this guy who is from the Scranton area that
Yeah.
was outspokenly would do piles during sets and sing in a band. Later on, found out that he was Puerto Rican. There's a small portion of him.
There's no sweeter irony, I don't think.
And it's poetic justice.
Maybe he learned that it doesn't fucking matter after he found
Who
out.
would want to live in a world of just a bunch of boring white people? It sounds like a shitty church picnic.
Cop picnic.
I need a
It
little.
sounds like a cop picnic.
Goddamn it, big six. Trees.
Rich
You want to
cop
cut down that tree
picnic.
again, son? What? They just cut down trees and run around.
I just think it
No.
Trump's reaction was just so alarming.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
And-
it tells you who he's not trying to offend.
It
Both sides.
Right.
Violence on both. That's the fucking
many
biggest
sides.
load of
There are
many
not many
sides.
sides.
Yeah, either you hate people or you don't.
Right.
When he did
know.
the speech that everyone was kind of commending and saying, oh, he was it maybe 2 days ago?
Right.
You could just tell how uninspiring it was
Right.
and how it was written and how he did not want to be up there saying
Compared to the rest of the other
It was
things
so
he said,
yeah.
he's really into it.
I'm
for a
not
lot of
giving
the other
that
stuff.
speech.
It was so transparent.
You have
Yeah,
to.
fine.
You have to
You
give
get a
the
lollipop.
speech. Yeah.
Yeah.
A white lollipop.
Yeah.
Only eat white chocolate.
It's just scary.
It is. It's going to get a whole lot worse from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That
just-
response, it's going to get a whole lot worse from here. These people think that this is okay.
Right.
And then
they're
the
emboldened.
people who pander to that, who say, "Oh, well, I'm not racist," and they may not be, but they do say, "Well, you can't use violence. Let them be." I don't care how liberal you are, for free speech you are. If you're saying, "Well, you can't be like that toward Nazis," being a Nazi is a fucking choice.
Yeah.
Being black is not a choice. Being gay is not a fucking choice.
Right.
Being a Nazi and saying this shit is a decision that you fucking make. And it's disgusting, and you should be punched in the fucking face.
It's
Being
learned
a-
traits. It's,
Yeah, learn
Agreed.
trait. You don't grow up. You don't born hating.
Being a Nazi
Yeah.
is not patriotic.
No, it's not. Oh, I'd love to.
America.
That's
I think
hilarious
about
that that's
whenever
the
I see
approach
these
they
people.
took.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, the guy with the army hat too.
Yeah, it's the most un-American thing you could
Yeah.
possibly
Think about
be.
the people who fought in, and I don't like to go to this. I don't like to go to this point, but this is people. Think of the people who fought in World War II.
Right.
Our grandparents fought these people.
People who died.
People who died, who fought these Nazis, those Nazis, and now in their home country,
Right.
it's everywhere.
They're chanting in the
It's
streets.
disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is.
Right.
where it
And
was
that we're
illegal
making
to, you know,
excuses for.
fly a rising sun flag. And,
Yeah.
But this is allowed
Yeah.
now. It's
Well, it's illegal to be a Nazi in Germany today.
Right.
Right.
You know, they use the Confederate flag in Germany now to push their agenda, to represent themselves, and they use all sorts of other. Another thing that I really hate is they use Norse imagery, and they're stealing, runes from
Oh,
Norse
right.
mythology.
Yeah.
They stole the swastika from however many cultures. They just appropriate these things, and
Right.
now what if you had a Volknot tattoo from 10 years ago?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now people think you're a Nazi because you got this tattoo 10 years ago because it was something that meant something to you.
Sure.
How pissed off would you be? You know, like, I'm yelling.
No, that's
Yelling
you
about
have
Nazis.
To be, there, you have to.
Somebody has to, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is we have to keep talking about it.
Yes.
I think people think that we just let it go away. It's just going to, work
won't
itself
beyond
out.
that point.
It won't, because
It's
they'll
not.
keep talking about it, and they'll keep getting young kids and recruiting young kids from these rallies. Those
Brainwashing
rallies
them.
that they said
Right.
they had a permit for. That's a recruiting event,
Right.
basically. It's sad.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say because obviously a publication like ours is so embedded in internet culture that you see, I think internet culture has played into this and made it worse because there's such a lack of empathy. When you look at the comment section of any story, you think, people I think take I've had some buddies who have, really dark senses of humor. I have a dark sense of humor.
Right.
But there's a point where it's like, okay, you have to say, okay, is this funny? Are we joking here? Or is this serious? And I think you see too much of this where it's gotten to the point where it's normalized. It's okay to, literally within hours of that woman getting run down and killed, there were already memes making fun of
Yes.
her
That makes me
and her
sick.
death
We're totally
and things like
desensitized.
that. It's exactly.
Yeah.
Is that you're so desensitized to it, you don't even see her as a real person.
Right.
That it just becomes a meme. It just becomes a joke. Everything's just funny. And then when people like there's I won't name who it is, but a local musician that because I'm friends with quite a few of them on Facebook, and it's interesting to me to see people like this guy in particular who fits a religious and racial profile that would have him executed in Nazi Germany, who is constantly defending Trump and defending the Nazis and saying, well, it's okay, and their opinion, it's just their opinion, man, and that kind of shit. And have you not stopped to think for 2 seconds what you're doing? Like, you're not only selling your own people out, but yourself out by doing that, and Americans in general. By saying these things and by saying that it's okay and that we, like it's a discussion. Genocide is not a discussion to be had. Either you're for or against that. There's no way around that.
There's no gray area.
Yeah, but I think we've gotten to that point. Political conversation is just so dumbed down now.
Oh, God.
It's so stupid.
But it's backed up by people who have these real feelings that
Right.
they want to go out and do something terrible.
Right.
And those people think they're being patriotic. America's the melting pot.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do you wave a flag, a Nazi flag next to an American flag?
You can't.
Or a
That's
Confederate
that-
flag next to an American
You
flag.
really
it's the same
can't.
thing. Like,
No, you're right. You
I
really
don't
can't.
understand that. How does that work? And the other thing, the whole thing started because of a protest supposedly over a Confederate general statue being taken down. Now, to me, I just say, why don't these people who are saying we got to preserve history and all this other kind of shit? Doesn't that belong in a museum then?
Yeah.
Right.
Does it really? When I think of walking on the square and seeing a statue of somebody, should probably be somebody you want to look up to. Somebody that has done something good for the community that everybody can say, yeah, you know what, that guy deserves a statue. That's somebody I can look up to. You read a little thing about him and you feel inspired. I don't think you get that out of the Confederate statues.
Well, some people do.
Some people do. I don't think. I think that's something that we shouldn't maybe destroy them. It's not erasing history. We're not burning books or anything like that. But and the other thing is, I don't think people learn history from statues mostly. I think people learn them
Right.
from books. So as long as we're not erasing entire chapters of history, I don't. They're talking about some kind of Orwellian nightmare that's
Right.
happening, and it's just not the case.
Right.
The real nightmare is the fact that we have Nazis in America and we're okay with it.
And we're not condemning it immediately publicly as
Right. As a people.
Yeah.
In general.
Well, as a people we are. As a power we're not.
Right. Well, and just in the last 48 hours, you saw Trump flip-flop between back and forth. First he wouldn't come out against it. Then he read a statement where he was obviously written for him, where he's condemning it. and then held a press conference right after we took it all back,
Yeah.
and said exactly what he said before. Like
That's even worse than just not condemning it.
Right.
Honestly.
yeah,
I saw a really great picture today, though, riffing on the whole taking down a statue aspect. In Paraguay, they had a statue. I don't know, I guess you can't really call it a statue anymore, but they had a statue of one of their dictators.
yeah,
And they took it down, but they broke it up into multiple pieces and made like a sculpture out of it, which the sculpture was a giant block of concrete or stone on the bottom, this broken monument in the middle, and then another huge piece of concrete on top of it. And that's really powerful. It's like saying,
Right.
look, yes,
You overcame.
this was our history. We overcame it. It's here. Don't fucking forget. And we're not trying to erase it.
right.
It's I don't know. I mean,
Overcome and move past.
yeah, it's
Right.
just a completely scary thing that people are trying to argue. The fucking South lost. They lost. You know, like
Yeah.
that's the bottom line. If they didn't lose, this country would be a completely different place.
Yeah, for guys who keep yelling about snowflakes and how millennials need participation trophies and things
They're
like that.
they're the biggest
That's the-
snowflakes of them all. Yeah,
Right,
man.
exactly. It's
Ugh.
well. Thank you all for tuning in tonight and listening to us rant a little bit. And we, if you didn't catch the live broadcast, you could still leave comments down there. We'll address them on a future show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you same time next week, Wednesday, from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on Facebook. And thank you to Beer Boys for providing the beers tonight. You can catch their Founders Tap Takeover next Wednesday, so please attend that as well. And you can watch us from the bar or something. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.